Hello.
Hey, what's up? Happy birthday.
Thank you. Welcome to Club IDIC. I sound a bit tired because I just got out of Zoom play practice reading a big speech.
Oh my gosh, nice. I'm exhausted because I've been doing a lot of work today and working on my Realist Academy stuff. So yeah, I'm exhausted. We can be exhausted together and sound like it.
Yes, but you know what? It's great. IDIC includes us.
Yay!
So how is life, my friend?
It is good. How is life over there?
Life is good. I'm just preparing for this awesome play in December. I have 2 roles.
Oh, yay. That's awesome.
Yes, I'm just gonna let my hair down because this is a party.
Yeah, do it. Yeah, I just came out of a hot tub, so my hair's like wet and scraggly, like screw being put together. Just, it is what it is, and it's awesome. But your hair is so long and beautiful, like it actually looks really silky and soft right now. Oh my god.
Well, thank you.
Love it. You know what you remind me of? Like the long hair and the silkiness with your face a little bit. Remember Drew Barrymore in the Cinderella story, Ever After?
Ever After. Oh yeah. Yes, I do remember that. The one with Tiffanie and Danielle.
Yeah, you look like Danielle a little bit. You could totally do a Danielle cosplay in the future.
Perhaps.
So could Barbara. Barbara could actually do that, but she looks more like a Belle, honestly, than a Danielle.
And Barbara actually looks good in dresses. I don't think I do, except for the one I posted on Instagram today.
Girl, you looked beautiful. And I thought you looked nice.
I don't have the body for nice dresses, I don't think.
Yeah, everybody has a body for nice dresses. But it's whether you see yourself, you know, I mean, but we're also our own worst critics.
I am my own worst critic, that's true.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying and I get you. But also it doesn't matter what size shape you are beautiful just the way you are.
And that's probably what we're going to be talking about tonight as well. A little bit.
Oh yeah. We are. See, everything's already aligning perfectly already.
Yeah, I hope lots of people come because I hope to have a really vibrant discussion. And at least I'm not alone. At least I have you.
Yeah.
Well, yes, one of the moderators. Yay. Tiffanie.
I was like, Tiffany's got to come too. Hi, Tiffanie.
Hi. I just popped in real quick to say hi because I know it was your birthday. Because it's my mom's birthday today.
I'm so happy you came.
Thank you. You're welcome. So how's your birthday going though so far?
It's good. I went shopping today and bought a dress and some other clothes from a store called Ricky's. It's actually a fancy store.
Oh, wow. It's really cool.
I had a little coupon for it and I was quite happy to spend money, and it actually looks nice. Oh my goodness, lots of people. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Did you do anything with your family for your birthday yet?
Or? I live in a different city than my mom and stepdad, and my brother lives in a different. Oh my gosh, somebody in Star Trek outfit. Oh my Lord, it's Anthony Perez.
What's up, Anthony?
Hello.
Hello. Are we excited for tonight's doublehead feature?
Yes.
And how is everyone tonight?
Like, pretty good, I guess.
Yes. Oh, it's wonderful that you actually showed up. You don't show up to that many meetings, so I'm so happy that you're here.
Yeah. I'm only here for a short time though, because I'm still celebrating my mom's birthday too.
Yeah, but Tiffany,
wonderful.
every minute we get you, we love you.
Yeah.
So come more often when you can.
Okay, I'll try to.
Because I think that we need to hang out at a convention.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
really fun.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Tiffany, imagine a fusion of Star Trek and Star Wars on ice.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Choreography. I've been coming up with this program. We could also have people with boots and like spikes so that they don't slip, or at least have the carpet out. Because I'm always like, safety.
Yeah.
Safety first. We could have like dances, like stormtroopers doing dances, and then aerialists coming down on like lyra hoops and stilts.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, if they have Disney on Ice, why can't they have that?
What? Like how
here's
not
another
the time
one.
I seen somebody doing the Star
Let's
Trek
make
people dancing the Macarena to the Imperial March.
Oh no. That's so funny. Tiffany,
Hi,
you're gonna
Jay.
make it happen now.
Okay, yeah.
We can do
Welcome
some.
to
I
the
have
party.
an idea with short programs and stuff and songs. And imagine a Sith going at somebody's head like with a Jedi, but then, or it could be a Sith they go back into the spider lunge and it's like whoosh, and then like, and then they get up and they're like, imagine opposing like yin yang theme. Sorry to just hijack it for a second. Where you have some triple axles on the opposite end,
Yeah.
but then you did have like, I don't know,
That's pretty creative. Because I have seen on YouTube, there was like one time they used to do some Star Trek on Ice thing, but that was like a long time ago.
Wait, that was an actual thing once?
Yeah, a long time ago. It was at like an amusement park thing.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, like if you go on YouTube and you type in like Star Trek and ice skating, there's like a really old video.
Will do.
Wasn't at some point Julian into swimming or tennis or something like that in terms of sports?
I think so, yeah.
But he quit because he didn't want to be found out.
Yeah.
What?
Wasn't
That's for
Julian the
Deep
Bashir
Space
into
Nine,
swimming or
yeah.
to tennis or something like that? I can't remember.
I think it was like racquetball.
I don't know, but it reminds me, I believe it or not, I don't know if many of you know this. I used to be in competitive swimming when I was about 9 or 10 years old.
That's awesome.
I was in a team called the Net and Marlins, and I won a bunch of ribbons and I think some trophies and a medal. I was a developmental swimmer, and I didn't pick it up. I didn't continue it into adulthood, but that's all right. I turned into a theater kid and entertainment.
We love the theater. The theater is the best. When it's not, it's always really not, because the show must go on.
Well, as Tiffany can probably attest to this, being a competitive athlete is really tough. You have to eat certain things and sleep certain hours and really just take care of yourself even in the off season.
Especially in ice skating, they have this whole image thing, which, in a way I understand, but it's also important to also be healthy, because you can be skinny but not be healthy at the same time, Right.
The image thing is ridiculous. I hear
And mental health, like athletes also have to take care of their mental health as well. And remember that even if social media is a pain in the butt, they still have value. Isn't that right, Tiffany?
Yeah, it does. Like,
absolutely.
The good part about it is like, connecting with friends, but then the stressful part's when you come across people who they just complain all the time or something, or they get offended easily, and you're like, I'm trying to explain something, and you're not taking time to read.
Hello, are you listening?
Oh, sorry. I was trying to see if I could find one of these. Heather, birthday girl.
Yes.
So we watching Dr. Bashir, I presume.
And we're watching our man Bashir. I surprised you with 2.
Yeah, I'm just saying that because I'm on
we get to see
Netflix right
some
now in my country. And for the time being, they still have Deep Space Nine. Yeah, what happened, guys? Last time I was here with Heather and you guys.
We're not going to discuss that because that involves some illicit activities, remember?
Mm.
We shouldn't discuss that because that involves some less than legal activities, Anthony, and we're on recording, remember? But needless to
Yes.
say, you got your
Well, let's
enjoyment.
just say we had issues, technical problems.
And we saved each other out from the Myers.
Yes.
Nice. Tiffany, figure skaters, actresses, theater people, everybody's human. And that's what we need to remember. I have a protein, like I do the Garden of Life or whatever protein shake. And I have like snacks. I really bring snacks with me because I'm skating on the ice. I'm doing physical training. I'm doing running and other stuff. And then I'm back on the ice and then I'm doing dance and then I'm doing gymnastics. So I get it. Like I have a protein shake, I have snacks, I have breakfast, and it's really interesting. When you were talking about the nutrition, I was like, yes.
Do you know what I thought might be helpful for mental health? And you should try this. Like some people have done coloring, and some people, maybe you should try buying a puzzle from a game store and trying a puzzle. I was at the shopping today and I decided to buy a Star Trek puzzle, and I'm going to do that in my spare time. And oh my Lord, we have so many people in here. This is amazing.
Yeah, but I always find like coloring books to be helpful too, besides just
Hello,
painting.
Clarissa.
Coloring books are the bomb.
Yeah, I mean, mental health is important, and we all need to remember that IDIC includes all of us, and we're all of value no matter what anybody on the rotten social media says. Hi, Clarissa.
Hi, everyone. I'm sorry, I had to test my audio. New
Welcome.
headphones.
Oh my goodness. Welcome to your first meeting. I'm
Ooh.
Captain Heather. This is Tiffany, one of our lovely moderators, and this is a lot of the crew.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Clarissa.
And happy birthday to you, Heather.
Thank you. I'm 34 today.
I have a drink in your honor.
Oh, great. And my birth time has even passed. I was born at 5:42 p.m.
Mm.
So now I'm official. I'm old. I'm an old fart.
A lot of years to go yet.
Yes.
So, okay, I don't know if this is another taboo subject, Heather, but how young are you?
34.
There you go.
And it wasn't taboo. It's like, it's great that we all help each other.
Mm.
Yeah, I know some people get antsy when it comes to their birthdays.
Oh,
I
yeah,
certainly
it's
don't
true.
care. I don't know if any of you have read the article that I suggested y'all read tonight. Have you?
I did.
Some of it.
Like, after I heard that my mom kind of defied the doctor's suggestion that I get put in a group home at 3 years old, I consider every birthday a gift.
Mm.
So I don't care if people comment on my age or not.
I mean, I've seen that there are group homes that are good for people, but I mean, you still work a job, they still help you function at the same time, but
It
yeah,
wouldn't
it's
have been
better.
good for me.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you didn't end up going. But it reminded me of a friend who has gone to that and stuff, but looks like fun, but nah.
It's not for me.
Yeah, it's better being closer to family probably and stuff. Right? Kind of? Or
It wouldn't have been a good fit for me. I mean, I'm the type that wants to just live life. So,
nice.
yeah. So, how is everybody's day going?
Well, how is everybody? My birthday's coming up this weekend.
Or yours is after mine.
When are you, Clarissa?
Thursday. 25th.
Wow. So we got a lot of birthdays, and this is like IDIC includes
All in
all of us.
one.
We're in this giant, we're a giant collage. We're beautiful. Isn't that amazing? So we can all celebrate IDIC together.
Yes, excellent.
So yeah, Clarissa, I'm 2 days after you.
So you're the 27th, right? Yep, Sagittarius gang.
Go Sagittarius. Oh yeah.
Yeah. We're the mischievous ones.
Mm.
Oh,
And luckily,
Yeah.
because my birthday falls on Thanksgiving this year, I have an extra excuse to eat pretty much everything that I can find.
yeah.
Yes.
Well, like I always say, I don't get a cake for my birthday. I get turkey.
Oh, I get a pumpkin.
Oh, with that protein. Yes. Turkey, meat, protein, substance.
I have bought one of my presents to myself, which is my chocolate peanut butter cookie dough ice cream.
Ooh, that sounds good.
It's in the fridge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
So,
I didn't know
Heather,
it existed.
What are you getting yourself for your birthday?
Me or Heather?
Well, okay, Clarissa, you finished.
I missed the first part of what you said.
My mistake.
No problem. My other tactic is, since Black Friday is right around this time, all the things I need for the entire year, I wait until Black Friday to get them, because that's when all the sales are happening. So when I need new shoes, basically everything's been broken down and I've been limping along all year, I wait till Black Friday to get it. So one purchase were actually these headphones.
Nice.
I have a new laptop, so it's like I need something for Zoom and my video games. So this is item 1. Ice cream was item 2. And liquor was item 3.
Oh, yeah. Mm.
So I'll be using all of those things at the same time on Thursday.
Yeah, isn't it kind of weird though with the pandemic? You got to be careful with Black Friday.
What?
Well, it's all online. Everything started like last
Oh,
week.
yeah.
Oh yeah, there's some good sales online, so that makes it easy not to have to go in.
Yeah, that's what I was like. Shopping online.
Yeah, it's become like my part-time job now, looking for all these deals.
Nice. Yeah, if we're gonna support capitalism, might as well do it smartly instead of working harder. Just get everything when they got all the sales.
Slaves to capitalism always.
Yeah.
Well, I don't live far from pawn shops and used bookstores, so I might just go over there.
Ooh, that's cool.
Nice. Yes,
And spend
girl.
too much money. I spent too much money today for birthday presents for myself, so I might spend some more on Friday.
What'd you get? What'd you get?
I got some pants for myself and a dress, and I bought some Star Trek playing cards and a puzzle.
Ooh,
I've never tried really a Star Trek puzzle, but they are the original posters and like the movie posters.
that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You okay, Anthony?
Yeah, I'm fine. Just my eyes.
Yeah.
Are you getting yourself anything for your birthday, Anthony?
Well, then I went to Anime NYC, which pretty much sucked for the most part.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Friday, they had no crowd control at the Javits Center.
Hmm.
Yeah, hear the freaking line going around 8 blocks, people trying to get in.
Wow.
So they eventually decided to storm the building.
Get out.
And that's one line. The other thing, the freaking line, the queue they had near the dealer room.
Mm.
The moment 1300 rolled around, everybody was making a mad dash for the Genshin Impact booth, like a stampede, just to get some dang anime merchandise. Joke was on them. All that Genshin Impact stuff was held up in customs.
Wow.
So like I tell people, they went nuts for nothing.
Wow.
And like even security was overwhelmed.
That's weird, because I figured, did they have a larger crowd or about the same size as New York Comic Con?
Almost about the same size as New York Comic Con.
But I guess their management's not that great.
Yeah. And directing people to the right. They figured it out Saturday. But Sunday kind of ended bad with a Dragon Ball photo shoot. It didn't go according to plan. Wasn't my shoot. And now I'm trying to upload stuff I photographed Saturday. But the problem is the event pages for these events are blocked.
Why?
Beats the heck out of me, Clarissa.
Ooh.
Well, I have to ask my friend to tell them to unblock the event pages so I can post the photos.
Mm.
Personally, whenever I do an event, I leave the event page open in case people have
Correct.
to tell me things. It's not like, oh, posting is not allowed for guests or whatever.
I'm sorry.
But enough about me. On the upside, I got Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. As soon as I'm done with photos, I'll play that for my birthday.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't think, I'm not into the new Pokemon games. I personally played Pokemon Stadium for N64 when I was young.
Pokemon, I enjoyed playing Pokemon Go for a while. That was fun.
I still play it.
So, and then I was playing Ingress at the same time too. So, because all the Ingress portals are the same as the Pokemon training centers or whatever they are. So,
Wow.
Because they're made by the same company, so they use all the same data.
Is Ingress still pretty popular?
I know when I played a few years ago, it was seemed like it was going downhill, but I'm not sure. I haven't played for a while. It took up a lot of space on my phone, so I got rid of it.
I completely understand.
Whew, I am having a shot redo my Instacart, and I'm gonna make fried jalapeno peppers, but now they're serrano peppers.
Oh,
Fried
I
jalapeno
fried
peppers.
calamari.
Oh, calamari. Oh,
All right, you ladies, you can eat all the fried squid you want.
You know what? Like, you know what?
Don't
We
forget
probably eat like
poutine.
Kardashians. We eat the finest foods. We eat we're diverse eaters. No.
Oh my God. You did not just say that.
You know what? I am a
did.
Kardashian in spirit. I am Garrick. I will eat whatever the fetch I want.
I would rather deal
That's
with
awesome.
the Kardashians than Kim Kardashian.
What, but you know what? Eating whatever we want, that's part of IDIC. Oh, so
Yeah, I think I'm more like a Beyonce. I'm a divine kick-ass woman, and I do what I do when I want to do, and whatever I do is freaking awesome. So, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah. No, I'm not hating on anybody though.
yeah. Hate
Everybody's
is not
awesome.
part of IDIC. Hate is definitely not part of IDIC.
I know, right? You know, it'd be really cool is if we actually got one of the Kardashians to come over here. If we actually got some.
Oh, that
famous
would be interesting indeed.
I'll be like, what is this? What is a Kardashian? We have no idea what this is about.
No, that's
It'd be
awesome.
funner if we got an actual person, like, somebody like Tiffanie. I don't know if she'll tell you, but she got the dude who played DeMar, Casey Biggs, to send me a cameo. She bought that for me for my birthday. So that was so kind of her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I didn't think she'd do that, but she did. And she was very kind. And Casey sent me a message and I shared the goodness with everybody because every trick you could use an uplift.
How are all the Brussels sprouts already out too? What the fudge? What the fudge?
Yeah, like, Cardassians are a fun species. Like,
Well, Andrew Robinson, yeah. Marcolemo, am I even saying that right?
I don't know, but it would
I don't
be
know
fun
either.
to get Andy.
Yuck.
Did anybody notice that they're like Andy's taking part in a virtual GalaxyCon that's happening in January? I would love to buy something of his and actually go tell him about the thing I wrote for Star Trek Quarterly because it mentions Garrick.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
I haven't been paying attention to GalaxyCon for a while.
Yeah, they're doing, when is it, January 8th?
GalaxyCon?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had all of these amazing virtual cons during like the height of the pandemic.
Yeah, this is another.
They definitely kept me going.
This is another virtual one. And I don't know though. I don't know. It's kind of expensive. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just wait till next year and try to meet him in person. It would be nice.
I think a lot of them are going on the cruise. I don't know if any of you guys are going on the Star Trek cruise.
I may write about IDIC, but I'm as poor as I don't know what's a good analogy.
Virtual experience. Go away.
Yeah, I was like, "Ooh, this looks interesting," and then I looked at the due dates and the price. I was like, "This looks interesting from my home."
Yeah, I might.
I will imagine the boat.
I've been to Star Trek
Virtual
Las
meet and
Vegas
greet
before, but
with
I'm
the cast
considering.
of V. Okay.
Wow.
I'm considering Chicago, but because the
this
Chicago prices
weekend.
aren't too bad.
Mm.
Chicago's awesome.
Even
Windy.
the hotel's not too bad, like the ones in the Loop. Anyway, Jake, how are you? You look all lonely over there.
I am good. So I took off from work early today, and then I walked around the. We have a regional nature park here, so it's like a wildlife preserve. So I walked around there for must have been a couple of hours or so, just enjoying the nice weather before it gets cold and snowy. And I have tomorrow, the rest of the week off, and that is,
That's
I'm-
awesome.
yeah. I told my manager, I was like, everybody was like, was it trickling out of work, and I was like, I think I'm just going to take a vacation for the rest of the day. If you don't need me, I think I'm just going to go. And he was like, yep, sounds like an awesome plan. So
Very nice.
Nice.
Cool.
so that was my day.
That's
Very,
great.
very cool.
I start working at an ice rink soon. I'm stoked.
Ooh.
So now I'm gonna be a skate guard, skate for, they're only open for 8 hours. They always open for 10 hours. So I'd spend like 10 hours on the ice. It's freaking awesome.
That's
Yes.
impressive.
Yes,
I
thank
could
you.
not do 10 hours.
I'm really picky about my ice too. The way they do the ice, it actually kind of hurts to skate on it after a while. So I won't skate as much, but the way they do it, it's like some of the ice is like gravelly underneath because it's those outdoor seasonal rinks. And I definitely want to learn how to do the ice make. So next year, maybe the year after, I can start doing it and maybe improve on that. Because, I get a little picky about my ice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How long have you been skating?
4 years now, since I was 22.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited. And yeah, ended up discovering my passion for working at ice rinks when I was just getting really good at skating myself, and then ended up skating there for like 2 years, connecting, chatting with people. Some people wanted to learn some stuff from me, and then Michelle, the rink manager, was like, "Yeah, you want to work for us?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I ski in the morning because the mountain opens at 7, so I'd go from like 3 or 4 hours, get down there by 11, and then go to the ice rink from like 12 to 9 or 10. Yeah, it's cool.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Where do you live? Where there's a mountain?
Yeah, I live in the mountainous regions in Colorado. So
Ah, okay.
yeah, I'm somewhere around the corner, past the spare room into Narnia.
Very nice, very nice.
Yeah. What about y'all?
New York.
Well, the closest ice rink to me is Bryant Park.
Which was also
Nice.
the first thing that popped up in my mind.
Epic. I want to go ice skating at Rockefeller. Ice skating rink. I've seen it, but I've never gone.
I live there, relatively speaking.
Dudes, let's all go ice skating gathering.
I don't know how.
Let's do it.
I don't know how.
That'll be an ice falling gathering.
You guys go
Yeah, I'll be on
ahead.
my butt more times than not.
I can teach you guys. I mean, with my tutelage, you actually may be able to
I've
stand
never
up.
been
and
able,
stuff
I've
like that.
tried. No, I'm good. I've tried, but
Yeah.
I'll watch out. I'll take pictures.
I would try it again.
Yeah,
I
that's
think I've skated twice, and that was unfortunately for me. That was crap. That might have been like 20 years ago.
I'm more of a swimmer, but
At
thank
least.
you.
Yes, but I've had a lot of people say, I can't do it, and or what if I fall? And I'm like, well, I teach you how to fall. We do a lot of learning how to fall off the ice first, and then how to get up, and then how that
Oh.
applies to the ice. We break it down. Tiffanie knows this, right?
Yeah, I think
you-
she's disappeared, but I'd like to grab onto your point, like about diversity and grab it if I might. Diversity
do it.
about learning from each other. Isn't that great?
Mm.
Yes. So if you guys want to, let me know. And then, yeah, we'll have to get a photographer. We need a hype man. We need a hype girl. So Heather can be the hype girl. Be like, at Rockefeller ice skating. Here's the crew. Star trekking it out. Flying to the moon. Here we are. Blast off.
Like I remember Suki is actually teaches about diversity. I believe you do at Realist.
Yes, I do. Individualism is accepted and rejoiced, and people being who they authentically are and shining. So yes.
I think it's an online academy, I believe it is.
Yes, it's on Discord, working with a few other professors, getting my certification as a holistic life coach. It is force realism training, but I can't exactly call it Sith or Jedi training, because if I want to monetize it,
Ooh.
I gotta
Can I make
speak about
myself
it.
Sithari?
Yeah, I'm a in real life Sith. Like what you see in the movies is actually different than in reality. I use psychology, philosophy, mindfulness, self-development tools to realize that I am in my own way. So if I want to be a singer and a songwriter, an entrepreneur, I gotta look at myself. I gotta look at my patterns, look at my lifestyle. I need to see what I am doing, and does that lead me towards my goals? So now that I have a goal, that's that mountain, right? That you got to climb and do all my steps, and I'm going to fail. I'm going to fall. I'm going to give into resistance. I'm going to sometimes want to procrastinate and go socialize. So I learn from my failures. I learn when I give into resistance. And then I do the mindfulness, the life coaching skills to transform myself, to self-develop myself as a professional, to be able to achieve what I want to do in life. And that is my passion. So I ended up going through like my life being on autopilot. We go to school, we go to high school, then we either go to job or college, and we're taught this is the way the world is. Now, how can you acknowledge Uncle Sam's influence? How can you acknowledge the way the world is, the matrix, but also utilize it for your own gain and live it in on your terms, right? How can you live a fulfilled, happier life and actually do what you want to do?
Uh-huh.
If there is not a path for you, freaking wipe that crap off the floor and make your own path. And that is where individual comes into play. If you're doing something that you're not wanting to do, but you have to meet this world halfway, coexistence, compromise, but you want to do something else, then find a way. So I work for somebody else right now. I still work like everybody else, but eventually I believe that this academy is going to go way beyond landmark, up there with Tony Robbins. And that takes years. And I'll be financially free to play, to laugh, to encourage people to travel, just to help people live life on their own terms. And that requires self-reflecting, that requires the obstacles away, stoicism, utilizing tools that help you be who you want to be and embrace your humanity. A Sith, at least I embrace my humanity. My work is completely different than some of the other Sith that I know. And they're pretty good people. They've gone from,
so where they were now to working with corporate and doing and being entrepreneurs and doing what they want to do. So in other words, it's self-development, it's life coaching stuff. And so the way that I talk about it and exemplify it can be spoken about in psychology, philosophy, self-development, mindfulness. The movie talks about two polarities and extremes of our own humanity, and it's kind of warning, and it's got some good points in there. Like the force is chi. It's our focus, luminous beings we are. So if we're focusing on the negative all the time within ourselves, then we're gonna live a pretty sad and down life and not be able to, we're gonna be stuck, we're gonna be victims, gonna be unhappy, then just to name a few.
That's right. IDIC
Yeah.
focuses on the positive, and that's why
Yeah.
it's inclusion, it's spirit, it's heart, it's love, it's unconditional love.
Yeah. So how
That's
can
why
you be?
I wrote the article. That's why I wrote the article, because people need to learn how to better unconditionally love each other and unconditionally love themselves. And I'd love to listen to each other's thoughts on it. Or do you want to watch the episodes first and discuss after? What would you like to do? Or do you want to do one, or do you want to do the Dr. Bashir, I presume, and then discuss, and then do the fun episode and discuss?
I've forgotten the episodes. I think I vaguely remember Dr. Bashir, I presume. I mean, we'll go watch that one first and then have a discussion
Yeah.
break. I'm open to if anybody prefers anything else. I'm flexible.
Yeah, because I feel
Well,
like
chronologically, it's the first one out of the two.
yeah. And it's connected to the talk.
We could do that one first and then discuss, since we'll then have the episode like kind of under our belts to add that to the article.
Yeah, and Suki's point was great. It led right into what.
So what does the birthday girl want?
Well, we can do that. And then, after the intense discussion, we can sort of watch the fun episode and discuss. I picked this, I wasn't going to do a second episode, but I thought, why not just have a little fun and appreciate the inadvertent family that Julian and Carrick seem to have made for themselves and each other during their time on Deep Space Nine. It's sort of a silly little love fest that they developed with each other, whether or not they themselves want to admit it. And I'm sure they have. They did some plays celebrating that. And we're all quiet. Oh dear.
Yeah. So is the vote unanimous? Anybody speak up now?
Does everybody agree with my assessment? I feel like I'm on
Yeah.
trial here.
No.
Okay, does everybody have access to it, or do I need to set up a teleparty?
Oh, where is it even?
You have Netflix.
Okay,
Yes.
I got Netflix.
Do they show Deep Space Nine on the Canadian Netflix?
Yes, it does. I watched The Spy on there with Sacha Baron Cohen and Alexander Siddig, so I know Netflix works. Let me just check. I have to talk into my remote, so I'll mute it.
Oh, it's
Sorry
still
about
on
the
Netflix.
class. Sorry about the classes, but I can't exactly see that distance without them.
Oh my God, all this time, I thought she had contacts on.
No, I have very purple glasses. I picked them because they were unique and look good with my skin.
Purple is a good color.
Yes, my favorite.
I thought about, I had pink before, but I was like, I want purple. I think I sat on them and they broke, so I had to get a new pair.
Yeah, I've got to wash my hair, and once that's done, my hair will again be purple. Where did I put Netflix? As a random note, as I'm opening up Netflix, if anybody here watches animated stuff, Arcane is really, really good.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I was wondering how that was. I know one of my friends, she got me watching a Squid Game, so that's that's been my life for like the last 2 days. So it'll be a little nice break to get into something else for a little while. I thought it was a show.
God, that was traumatic.
Yeah, yes, it was.
Okay, so we're each individually opening up Netflix.
Yes, it seems
That's
to work.
happening?
But before we start, I'd like to say that you're going to see some things that are probably going to have you have some opinions. Don't be afraid to express those opinions, because this is a safe group. This is an open group. And, you know, we can express opinions freely here and we will not judge each other for them. So be unafraid. Okay?
All right.
My second question is, what season?
Oh, yes,
Is
of
that
course.
episode?
Season 5, episode 16. I apologize.
Okay. No worries.
Yeah, episode 16, season 5.
And just know that, like I've said, this is going to be in an episode of Club IDIC Chronicles, but be unafraid. I will be very sensitive about how I edit this, so be unafraid. I'm usually very respectful about how I make these into episodes, as you've seen. So this is a very, very good place to talk about these sensitive issues. Everybody's opinions are welcome here.
Perfect.
And will be treated with respect. All right. Is everybody ready and queued?
Yep.
I'm ready.
All right. Okay, 3, 2, 1. I'll see you in a little while. All right. If you have any questions, just pop them in the chat. And when you're done, just type in the chat and we'll wait for people who aren't quite done because we're not going to rush.
Okay.
All right. Love you all.
Hey, and which one were we watching again?
Dr. Bashir, I presume, season 5, episode 16.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. I didn't expect to cry during that, but I did.
So what part was the most emotional? Like what kind of resonated with you the most?
That Julie, like, you know, people like to, I've seen fanfics and fan art where Julian's parents are painted as the villains, but maybe that's not so. Maybe, you know, it's hard for parents, especially of special needs children, you know, they struggle so much. And my mother was a parent of a special needs child, as I have explained in the essay. And especially with my dad being an alcoholic, he didn't work for the first 8-9 years of my life, and social services got on my mother's case more than once, warning her to tell him to get his act together. And she has told me this, and I'm allowed to share it since he's dead and he's not going to do anything about it. And it's very hard when you have two parents active in a family situation and dealing with a special needs kid. When you're dealing with one parent who is trying to work 2 jobs and volunteer, and when the parent loses a job and loses income, and imagine this special needs child having to go to 6 different elementary schools because schools can't handle what's wrong with a child. They don't know how to deal with it. This was the 90s. Like this child went to kindergarten at the age of 4 because they said something very advanced and were considered a genius, but then all of a sudden all these problems cropped up and this child had to go to 6 different elementary schools because they didn't know what was going on. Like they spent 1 week in their first grade 1 class and the teacher kept them after school and called them stupid because they couldn't cut out a scarecrow properly. And my mother came to the school, got incredibly pissed off at my teacher and asked me, did you try your best? And I said, yes, mommy. I mean, disabilities in the 90s were considered, group homes were still very much used. They're still very much used today, but group homes were pretty much painful. Children like me were institutionalized in the 80s and 90s. Can you imagine what Jules Bashir would have gone through had the Federation, even in the Federation, do you think that a child like Jules Bashir would have gotten a fair shot? Had he tried, I don't think so. So they had to protect him. They had to be like, oh, we have to protect our son because Federation's not a utopia for disabled people. As much as they pretend to be a utopia for everybody, do you think they're a utopia for people with disabilities? I don't know. I'd like to think so. Anyway, I'm bawling and getting worked up. Thoughts?
Yeah, don't
That's
worry
okay.
about it. I understand.
Star Trek will do that to you.
Well, it's not fair. It's like Federation's a utopia for whom exactly? If you're normal, typical, alien, whatever, it's great. But if you've got some struggles, if you're divergent in any way, is it a utopia for you?
I would like to think it depends on what exactly is your disability, because with their advanced medicine, I would think if it's physical, they should be able to do something to adjust for, I optimistically would like to think like 90% of it. But mentally.
Yeah, like somebody with autism, for example, don't mean to cut you off, Clarissa, but because I've known some people who are like profoundly low functioning, medium functioning, and high functioning. Just trying to deal with it. It's not like a one size fits all type of thing. Where you can come up with one thing that'll work for everybody.
Like Julian was born in the 2300s and the Federation existed at that time. Where were the resources for him? Why did his parents have to take him off world? He would have been in a Federation school, right? Where were the resources for him? He couldn't tell the difference between a cat and a dog and a tree and a house. Where were the Federation resources for him?
But I wonder if his parents really were just really anxious, like they said, and they kind of overreacted. Like they didn't want to take the time to see if time would actually help him to adjust and he could live a normal life.
I don't know.
What do you think, Clarissa? I was wondering, you think that if they would just waited a couple of more years, he would have like compensated eventually on his own without the genetic enhancements?
I mean, it's hard to say because I'm sure, early childhood is the best time to really intervene to come up with shortcuts or help aids that could have helped him deal with whatever he was dealing with. But if they were feeling like a lot of guilt saying, I don't know if we did this, we did that, which I can understand is probably hard as a parent to try to go through that. Like they said, watch him slipping back further and further each day. And maybe wherever they were, they weren't seeing enough progress. So they had access to this black market thing and said, you know what, we'll just do this. It should fix everything. And then he'll have a chance of, well, a far better chance at a better life, and everybody should theoretically be happy.
Well, I think on Memory Alpha, it said he was still having those difficulties where other children his age were learning to use a computer. So he was definitely schooled in a system where that was like, mainstay, where children his age were using computers and technology. I mean, why weren't the teachers like giving him extra help?
But I think you also have to think of it from the perspective of, like you said, this was the 90s. I mean, this episode probably came out in like what, 90, I don't know, 95? I forget when DS9
I
started.
know, but
92?
he was born in, what was it, 2340s?
Yeah, but the people who wrote the episode were probably, if this aired in the 90s, they grew up in like what, maybe the 70s-ish, 80s were their formative years. So that was kind of, well, I don't know if that was, probably wasn't the beginning, but we were still on the slope to thinking about like behavioral therapy and all that kind of stuff. That was still a growing field. So from their limited perspective at that point in time, they probably like, oh, well, if we have a kid who has some learning difficulties, this is what they would deal with.
Like,
they couldn't probably think far ahead to go, oh, we might have all these different therapies with all this different technology. Honestly, I think it's really probably a shortcoming in terms of just the mindset of the time. Because I think if they had this similar issue in Discovery, I feel like because of where we are now in 2021, it would be treated much differently. This person would have a much brighter potential outlook.
Yeah, like, I don't know, the R word was very much used as a commonplace slang back in the 90s, and people thought nothing about it.
Exactly. So that's what I'm really saying. I think it's more of the mindset of that time and how that seeped into the writers. So they were thinking, well, this is a good scenario for a story. Let's make his character interesting. Let's say that he had this kind of disability and the parents were worried and the Federation didn't really have any treatment that was looking all that promising to them. I think that would be a lot different if that same episode were written today.
I don't know. It's the kind of episode, like, people love to villainize Richard and Amsha for torturing their son, but they did what they could. They felt sad for their son. He was their only son. And I don't know what struggle they had to have this son, but he was their gift. And their gift was struggling in the world. So they did what they could for their gift to give him a shot, because maybe the Federation was struggling to accept this because, hey, disabilities aren't common in the Federation. What are we going to do with this disabled child who dares to exist in our utopian universe? They're like, oh, this, we gave, like, Richard's like, we wanted to give you a shot.
Mm.
And Amsha's like, well, you don't know what it's like to watch you struggle. You didn't know what it was like.
I think if parents today had that kind of option, I mean, they might say the same thing. But on the other side, I don't think an episode like this would be written today. Or if it was, Julian would have had to have had a much more severe, I can't imagine how much more severe. I don't want to just
like cerebral palsy or something.
Yeah, I don't want to name anything specific because I'm ignorant of all the different potential things, but it would have to be something so severe where they were like, okay, we need to do this gene therapy.
Yeah, well, autism, like low functioning autism, like I used to care for, like, do respite care for a low functioning autistic child, and low functioning autism can get pretty severe. So maybe he's had something like that. I don't know.
I feel like if it were written today, it would have to be like, that would have had to have been his starting point. Like he was regressing, or he just started at, maybe he never learned how to speak. He couldn't recognize shapes. He was growing physically according to whatever the developmental landmarks are, but maybe mentally he wasn't verbal. He wasn't responding to things. I think at that point, then today's mind, you'd be like, okay, I could understand his parents doing this genetic therapy. But today's audience, if you just said, oh, well, he's not meeting the normal benchmarks, intellectual benchmarks for children, I don't think people would be like, oh yeah, sure, let's try this experimental genetic advancement therapy that could kill him. People would probably riot. I think admittedly so. I don't think it's apparent. I don't think it's anyone's decision to say, I want this life for you and you don't look like you're going to reach it, so I'm going to do this experimental, potentially dangerous treatment to you.
It's not. I mean, I heard Sid didn't like the whole genetic thing. Maybe that's why. Maybe he just is like, they should have just loved Julian as he was. And that's part of my stance. But I also see the other side and how Richard and Amsha must have been exhausted raising a special needs son. And they reached their breaking point and they were done. You know, I can kind of see both sides. Having done the respite and having seen what my mother, she used to tell me, she's told me about it since I've reached adulthood, about how exhausting it was, especially since she had to do it pretty much by herself with the help of friends, but pretty much by herself. You know, it's sort of, I can see both sides of it. I don't know. It's complicated. You know, it makes me wonder, what did like Tilly's parents go through and Data's parents go through?
Well, granted, I haven't seen much of Star Trek Discovery because honestly, I don't feel like paying like how much for Paramount Plus.
Right, yeah.
But
Tilly
yeah,
mentioned,
I don't know, man. I don't know that much about Tilly. I did see some episodes.
Yeah, like in the first, I'll tell you then, like in the first season, first when Tilly is roomed with Michael on Lorca's ship, Tilly mentions she has a disability. We don't hear mention really of it again after the Lorca period. But she mentioned she has a disability. I'm wondering if that was written out a bit after she kind of grew in the ranks. But I wonder what she had to go through. What her parents had to go through.
So in light of this, now I'm wondering if she's like what you'd call HFA. Aspergian. That's not even a word. But
It's a word you can make up. It's a word you can make up. Yeah, and I don't know, dare I say Garrick has a bit of a divergency too, because he couldn't live up to what was expected of him, and he has a bit of a, I don't know, he acts like he might have a bit of autism at times too, Garrick, and he also uses creative ways to get through angry periods, and he has a bit of outbursts sometimes. And Data definitely is divergent. He has a bit of a autistic tendency as well, and as does Spock. Anyway, what are people's thoughts?
I said a bunch, so I don't want to monopolize.
Yeah, all right.
Anything.
So did y'all read the article? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that.
Yeah, I gotta read the whole thing this time.
I did. I thought it was interesting because I never really thought about, I've heard the term neurodivergent, but I don't know everything that encompasses. So it never really occurred to me how much Star Trek could be, I guess, saying also it's okay for these people on the spectrum to also be included. And I wasn't really 100% aware of that, I think, until Discovery, when so many people were like, oh my God, Tilly makes me feel like I'm recognized and it's okay. And when I went to a convention and people were talking to the actress and they all started crying, they were all like, oh my God, you did so much. And then I think that's when it really hit me like, wow, okay, that's cool. There's something for everybody. Everybody's getting something.
Yeah.
Everybody's feeling seen, which is why I love Discovery. Bless you.
Danke.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Like in the old days, like the divergence kind of stood out. Like there was one, but they stood out in a crowd of like normals. And that was kind of how it worked back then, you know, like that's how it was. And that's how it still is, kind of like all the neurodivergents stand out in the crowd of normals. And you know, people, we need to do so much better in terms of diversity and welcoming each other and loving each other unconditionally. And you know, the more we welcome each other, the more neurodivergents can be more comfortable with themselves.
It's difficult because I think whenever you're different from the norm, it can be really anxiety inducing because you're always wondering like, okay, who can tell? Who can tell? Am I acting quote unquote normal? Am I sticking out?
Yeah, and then if people can tell, they don't always react in the best manner, and that just hurts self-esteem. Because people don't always react kindly to what they can't understand.
Very true.
Yeah, and there's a sequel. I don't know if you saw the sequel. I posted it in the club several times, Clarissa. I talk more about neurodivergent behaviors than that which belongs to Julian and Garrick. Yeah.
I don't think I
So,
saw
can
the
find
sequel. There's a
this?
sequel to that article?
Yeah, it's in Star Trek Quarterly.
So can we find the link in the club
Yes.
IDIC?
I'm about to go look for that.
I can grab.
Yes.
Yeah, I wrote that, because it's hard to get things published repeatedly by Star Trek on the same topic. But yeah, I wrote it and I got it published by Star Trek Quarterly, and it was rather fun.
It's always fun seeing your name in print.
Well, I've been having my name
Or
in print
digital.
since I was 17 professionally, except for one piece when I was 6. So I'm not bragging, it's just kind of how it is. There it is in the chat, page 9. Like
Alrighty.
yeah, it's interesting, the concept of IDIC. And it's part of the reason why I wanted to do a Julian and Garrick episode, because I can't get enough of them. I've written fanfics about them being a family and learning to like each other and actually being married. And yes,
Yeah.
I can.
Garrick, he's like one of those like Star Trek people who I would describe as something else.
He's an other, I guess that's another word for people that typicals have used to describe people with disabilities, and other, a divergent, but
I would have, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Apply that to 2 people in Star Trek. Garrick is something else, right? He could weep for a sick kitten and cut your throat at the same time.
I relate to him just because, we both have never done what's entirely expected of us, yet we make the most of everything and every day.
But then you got people who are straight psycho, like Gowron.
Gowron's cool.
Well,
I'd say Ducat's psycho.
I hesitate to
Ducat
apply
belongs
labels to these guys
The
only
Hague.
because they're aliens. So they're not
The fun
humans.
thing is,
And they're not from our culture, so we can't really, I think it's hard to say, okay, he's like autistic or he's this or that, because we're judging them by our psychological base point. They have a completely different psychological base point.
do you know what the interesting thing is, Clarissa? Do you know what the landmark quote in IDIC, the IDIC talk is? The landmark quote that you bring up the aliens? I have always felt like an alien in a world of humans because I see the world and situations differently than others, and that is a lonely path to tread.
Well, definitely for him, he was hanging out with humans.
I basically call myself an alien in that essay. But that's okay. I don't mind being called an alien. It's better than what the things that other people have called me.
I can only imagine.
Oh,
I'm imagining it right now. It's not pretty.
I'll let you imagine. I'll tell you stories later about it.
So I feel different for being a Star Trek fan.
Later.
Huh?
I know it's IDIC here, but still.
Yeah. Yeah, there are certain things I don't put in public print.
There you go.
Understandable.
Maybe someday. I'm working on telling more stories.
Yeah, the whole thing, like parents getting on your butt and stuff. Well, I'm not good enough for you because I wasn't a neurotypical kid.
I wasn't good enough for one. But it is what it is.
So there's a tension between like him and his Dr. Bashir and his parents, like over how they like, I don't know how to say it, but so he's not really the man he thought he was. And basically trying to figure out his place in the universe.
Yeah, I feel bad for it because I'm sure, I don't even know if they ever really got along. That family, it's sad.
What?
He
What, did he ever
wasn't,
visit
he
his
wasn't
dad in
seen as good
jail
enough.
ever again?
He wasn't seen as good enough by his parents because they didn't like what they were given, and so they put him through hell. And I will say the word hell, it's in the Bible, so I will say it. Because it is a hell to be seen as not good enough to the point where you're repurposed. Basically, that's what he was. That's what genetic modification is repurposing.
Mm.
I don't know, is that too
Well,
much?
and the other thing I think about that episode, I know that's not the more serious issue it brings up. The side story. You figure you ever looked at Star Trek Voyager, how the EMH looks like a friendly, nice guy. And then to see this episode of Deep Space Nine with Dr. Zimmerman, the inventor, and find out he's such a sleazebag, skirt-chasing sleazebag.
Yeah, he was really a dick.
Since when is Zimmerman nice? So do you remember when the EMH met Zimmerman? He wasn't nice then either.
Hey, he's an engineer. Engineers are assholes.
Yeah, I don't know. I met Bob Picardo. Bob Picardo is kind of like Zimmerman.
Oh, really? I played Turkey Feud with Bob Picardo virtually last
Actually, he
year.
wasn't that bad. I actually met him in person.
Oh, I had
like,
to.
What's it? From 2021, like about 10 years ago. He's an okay guy. That he did tell some dirty jokes. Well, he was like, and he's like middle ground. He wasn't like, he has like the sense of humor of Zimmerman, but the character of the EMH. See, he's like, man, we gotta separate the actor from the character. So yeah, like Bob Picardo, remember at Comic-Con he was giving a speech for this socialist rally in Hudson Yards Park. Or what's it called? Hugeman Park. Ugh.
A socialist rally?
The Javits Center now. I keep forgetting the name of it.
Oh, Hudson Yards?
Yeah, that park. I know it's not called Hudson Yards Park. I'm sorry, Heather, Jake. It's like what the New Yorkers know what I'm talking about.
You know what? Tell us so we can know too. Like, tell the story. We're interested.
So yeah, I was waiting for her to do a photo shoot, right? So I see Picardo. I'm like, this guy looks like Bob Picardo. Oh my God, it is Bob Picardo. Giving a speech, about condemning capitalism and stuff. So
when was that?
Yeah, I guess he's like famous, so never have to worry about that type of thing. So me and my friend Homer were watching him. Give
Homer
his speech.
Frizzell, that dude is everywhere.
Yes. Around here, I don't know if he's ever been up to Alberta. If he has, that's news to me. And Carissa's like smiling, but not smiling on that.
When did this take place?
Pre-COVID.
I'm kind of jealous. I missed out on Bob Picardo at a socialist rally. I love anti-capitalism stuff.
It's amazing.
Well, consider me lucky.
Yeah,
and aside from the occasional, I guess what you might call melancholy, looking at Renee, because I got to meet him before he passed.
Hmm. Yeah, that was sad to hear. I've never, well, I think I saw, did I? I don't remember if I saw him in person at the 50th anniversary convention. Did he die you know what? I completely don't remember. I'd have to look at my
Wikipedia,
photos.
Clarissa. Wikipedia. Whenever the universe has a mystery, go on that website. Your answer is there.
Let's see.
That's amazing.
What I'm gonna do.
And we chased Jake away and Tiffany too.
No, you didn't chase them away. Jake will be right back. He will be right back. Nobody chased anybody away. This is a very good discussion, and I'm very grateful for whatever company comes. So stop self-deprecating, or else I'm going to get very pissed off at you, Anthony Perez. Anyway.
Yes.
So do you have any questions about the article, or should we move into, or do you want to move into the next episode and prepare for more of a discussion? Those are the two choices.
So I'm curious, what was your inspiration to write that article at that moment in time that you did?
Well, you know, with 2020 comes a lot of virtual socializing, and I do tell a little bit of a story in the beginning part of the article. And you know, I tried virtual socializing. There were things that didn't go well, and I decided to talk about how my struggles as a neurodivergent individual. And at one point or another, I met Alexander Siddig virtually, and he challenged me to write something and sell it. And
Oh, really?
Of that challenge, yes, he's an amazing individual. I don't think he's ready yet. He's a very busy individual, and I just, you know, challenge accomplished, Sid.
Oh, that's awesome. I remember you mentioning that you went to the Sid City things in the article. I didn't realize that that was the impetus for the article.
Yes, it was. He inspired me to write that, and yes. And I suppose the sequel and the other things that I may write
Right.
for Star Trek are just continuing the challenge on. I don't know if he'll ever read it. He's a very busy person, but thank you for the inspiration.
Sometimes I think that's the best part. They give you that spark, and then you kind of get the therapy, the benefit of writing it and the things that it brings to you, even if they never even get to see it or hear about it again.
Yeah, I think Nana knows about it, because I tagged Nana once in the Club IDIC Twitter and said she was a founder, because she's mentioned in it as well. And you know, it's nice to be able to accredit that to such inspirational people. And you know, I promote her and her son Django's podcast on our page all the time, just, you know, for something nice to do. I don't know if they see our promos, but I listen to their podcasts, and they have some really interesting things to say. And I listen to Mama Nana's little Instagram things sometimes too. And between her
she's
advice,
great on those.
Yeah, between her advice and Sid's advice that's mentioned in the article, yeah, very good people.
Yeah, I saw the posts about the podcast. I'm not really a podcast person. I tend not to really have time to get into podcasts. I think people who are able to listen to them are lucky. I can't listen to them on the train because there's so much noise. I'd go deaf from buying and finding headphones where I could listen to them. But maybe I will give that a shot, since I have I will have the next 5 days off once I get through tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, writing is a passion of mine. I've done writing for so many years, and just being able to write for Star Trek and express how I am as a person and relate it to my real life and relate my real life to Star Trek is just a really good thing to be able to do. I would personally love to act in Star Trek as well, having done bits of acting since I was pretty much child and in junior high, it would be nice, but yeah.
Well, if you get an agent, I mean, I don't know anything about acting. I just know people have agents.
You know, I have looked into a few, but you know, there's the uniqueness. Like, I would need a unique agent who would understand my needs, and because you know, I'm a bit of a unique person. I would need a unique person to understand my needs.
Mm.
Because you know, neurodivergent people, you know, they're unique and they need people to understand them and to have compassion on them and to be able to work with them and adapt to their needs as a person and as an actor and as a creator and whatever else they want to bring to society, and help them to be able to understand the rules involved in sets and acting and performance. Well, I know some of them, but not all of them, and to be able to navigate the different aspects of like promoting a film and interviews and other things. And I just haven't found that yet. But I still perform. I'm actually going to be in a virtual play in December.
Wow.
Yes, very happy about that.
Fascinating read.
What?
So I just looked through the article you published,
Yeah.
and I'd say it's been trying for you, especially in light of recent events.
Yeah, I spoke like being a neurodivergent person in social situations isn't easy, and I've gotten into social trouble with virtual groups, and you know, I don't mean to get into social trouble, but it happens because people often persecute what they don't understand, and sometimes I'm not the best at being able to adapt to social situations, and trouble happens, and sometimes I get told I'm not welcome, so I leave and I try to work on myself and I go try again somewhere else. The drama always follows. Sorry.
Yeah, that's rough.
Don't worry, Heather, you're with friends now.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, this
I
is
don't
going
know
to
if it qualifies as
be double
neurodivergent,
social.
but dealing with social anxiety, I completely understand.
I'm putting this on camera. I don't care. People can see me cry. I cry all the time in these body things. But it's like, you know, I don't mean to be, I suppose, a social.
You're being offered a virtual tissue.
Oh, thank you. I don't mean to be a social screw up, but it happens, and the thing I can do is learn from it.
No, I'm not trying to be like philosophical, but every time you fall and the world tries to pin you down, just step right up and tell it to leave.
I mean, I wish I could, and I wish, like, you know, I can't really hate people because it's so hard to hate people who don't understand and don't want me around, because they don't understand, they don't want to be around what they don't understand. But people are under a lot of stress, and you can't help but have compassion, because everybody's going through a hard time right now because of COVID and job loss and continuing COVID, because COVID seems like it's never going to go away.
Sure. Yeah, people are I think it's equal parts COVID, equal parts people's behaviors.
And I mean, you can't control what people do or how they react to you, but you can control how you respond and wish them good and grace and no ill will. It's sort of like a Jesus thing, because I'm a believer of Jesus, and he didn't do that. He wasn't, oh, I'm going to wish you ill will, blah, 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 blah. And I don't know if either of you are religious, but you can't hate, you cannot become the monsters you survive. You can avoid becoming the monsters that you survive.
That is a
So,
very good perspective.
yeah.
Yes.
I missed some of that. I'm warming up my another Thai tea, so I was like, then I heard something And I was like, sorry.
Sorry, Jake, you just missed me bawling my face off. It's not there.
No. My
So what-
co-captain is about to interrupt. Uh-oh.
Will it be on the
Here, say
on
hello,
the
cat.
YouTube?
Right.
No, make me.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
So, Heather, will that be on the YouTube?
Ooh.
What?
Will that be on the YouTube?
My
The
crying?
conversation that just happened just now. I was just curious.
Yes, it will be. Yes, you'll get to see
Okay.
me cry and bawl.
Okay. Okay. Go check it out.
Oh.
Yes, and you'll be like, what is she smoking? I'm not
And
smoking
Jake, you
anything.
also missed the part where Heather threatened to like stick her hands through the monitor and strangle me all the way here.
I would never strangle you. I have never strangled anybody unless they were causing harm to somebody else.
It's probably the mirror universe, Heather.
People
Yeah,
have
that's-
honestly tried to strangle me when they were under the influence, but I have never strangled anyone. I punched somebody, but I've never strangled anybody. And that was only, the punching was only in self-defense.
Yeah,
And I
just
know
curious.
I've drawn your ire when you're using my full name.
Oh, but you have such an adorable name.
Like usually if my parents use my full name, it'd be to scold me for something.
Oh, I'm sorry. I won't do it anymore.
Well, it's not just the full name, it's the full name plus the middle name. That's when you know it's time to run.
Oh, I don't know his middle name. So
I don't have one middle name.
You did, what?
That's surprising. Well, I know you're Leia, is it?
Leigh. Leigh.
Mm.
Yes, we had a very interesting conversation while you were away, Jake. We didn't get into violence, but we cried.
Yeah, I was just gonna comment. I was like, violence is not very Starfleet.
Nobody threatened to strangle anybody and nobody got violent. We just cried and touched on sensitive topics.
Yeah.
So, well, we seem to do that a lot in these conversations.
Yes, but you know what? That's wonderful. And if you think we're touching on sensitive topic now, you wait till February when we talk about Far Beyond the Stars, because I've scheduled
Oh
that.
man.
Mm.
I cry
know
every
it's gonna
time I
make
watch that
people-
episode.
I know it's going to make people uncomfortable, but it needs to be talked about, and we're going to talk about it. And I've listed stuff about like what we can think about, and people can prepare, and yeah. Because with all the stuff going on lately, we do need to talk about it.
Mm.
And there's a way we can talk about it and do it respectfully.
Yes.
So we're going to try. Yeah, anyway. So our hearts need to be lightened with some Julian and Garrick uber coolness. How about it?
Okay. So any further screening, Heather? It's already 22:06 Eastern time.
Yeah, are we up to watching Armand Bashir?
Clarissa.
I might be good for like another half hour-ish.
Or did you want to just simply talk some more? We can always forego Armand Bashir.
Yeah, it's not to be selfish, but that probably make a lot of more sense.
Yeah, that's okay.
Like I
Then
said, Carissa and I are 2 time zones ahead of you.
we can leave Armand Bashir and talk some more. What about IDIC includes me? Would you like to talk about for another half hour?
Yeah, let me
Where did you
pull
find the
up.
artwork for your page?
I was wondering that too.
StarTrek.com did that.
Oh, okay. 'Cause I was like, wow, that's some really good header art.
Thank you. My job is, as the writer, is to write what I think and then submit it, and then I have no further power over it unless I need to edit something. I can tell you're reading something. What are you reading?
Your sequel article, that
Oh,
link that you just put
yes.
up. So I'm trying to very quickly skim through because I didn't realize that there was a sequel article.
But I suppose I'm terribly old-fashioned. I tend to read ink stains on tree pulp.
You do what now?
He reads books. Physical copies, I'm assuming, from the way he phrased it.
Where did he go? Oh dear, he's up. He's solemnly swearing that he's up to no good.
Is he showing up on the Marauder map?
Oh, you know what? We don't have the map. Oh, that's amazing. What is that? That's Jean-Luc. Star Trek Destiny.
And my holy text, I don't know, maybe you want to talk religion in the future, but this be my holy text.
Oh, yeah. There's some
What's
IDIC
that?
right there.
Ah,
About the rules of acquisition. I still have to read the 34th rule that I got from the library. Because it talks about racism against the Ferengi to the point where they are arrested and interned by the Bajorans.
What, 34th rule, peace is good for business.
Yes.
I think I did, Clarissa, did I ever tell you about the time I met Shimmer Armin?
I don't think so.
No, this is at
Armin?
Comic-Con, I think, or Mission New York, I forget where. And I ain't been to a Star Trek convention in 5 years.
Hmm.
But I saw Armin, I started quoting the rules of acquisition to him when he's trying to sign an autograph. So you got him, and like on the left-hand side, he says to Anthony, which is me, follow the rules and you'll never go wrong.
You know what, Armin?
That's pretty cool.
I don't, you know what? Y'all should have taken his Shakespeare masterclass that happened a few weeks ago. Y'all would have loved it. Homer was there. I was there. It was just amazing. Like, he is a very good teacher.
I don't know if I like Shakespeare enough to sit through a masterclass.
I had to deal with that in college.
Well, it was very worth the price. And, you know, I took it last year and I was like, oh, you know what? I was not feeling good last year, so I couldn't focus. So I took it again and I learned a lot. But I do want to meet him in person.
Shimmerman, he's cool.
Is he?
Yeah. And maybe next I'll share the story how I got my revenge on Brent Spiner.
Oh, what did you do to Brett Spiner?
Okay, I'm on the podium again. So when I was a child, right? We're talking like early to mid 1990s. I'm watching Next Generation on TV. You get this 5-second ad for the Creation Star Trek convention. So I beg Mom to take me there. I see him on the stage. And the thing that really got me disappointed, he said he's not signing any autographs.
Uh-oh, what did you do?
He said he'd rather talk about his Broadway musical, 1776. Like there's a Broadway musical about Ben Franklin. He would rather talk about that. He said he wasn't signing any autographs. I kind of heckled him, almost got thrown out the building. Me being gravely disappointed for a 20-year period. And then Brent Spiner came back to Comic-Con or Mission New York, right? Comic-Con, because apparently he has his little autograph where he's signing autographs. Apparently he's in debt and has bills to pay now since he's not on any TV shows. So I went over to him. I didn't say anything about what happened 2 decades prior.
He remembered you.
So he signed, I had to bet you he signed the thing twice. So you have the first contact data and the TNG data, and both of them have Brent Spiner written underneath them.
I'm guessing he remembered you as the boy that got thrown out, right?
I said almost, not.
Oh. Oh.
And you're laughing at my misery. You're mean.
I think you're cute. I think you're so adorable. And if you were an action figure, I'd want to take you home and put you on a shelf. This is so cute.
Should I feel flattered or should I feel frightened by that?
Whatever you want to feel. They should make a little Anthony doll of you in your uniform and the beret. It's awesome.
Thank you.
I think
I'll
there are
take that as a
places you could pay to get that done.
Oh my goodness, really?
Hmm.
You
I've
should do
I've
it,
seen
Anthony.
some people do it on my feed. They have like these long-term role-playing characters they have, and or the cosplays they have, and they get them turned into action figures. I think with 3D printing now, it's a lot more accessible to more people.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so awesome.
It's cool. I don't think I have. Well, I haven't been going to enough Star Trek conventions to have any severe horror stories. Other than I felt so embarrassed at the 50th anniversary convention. I took a group photo with the DS9 cast, or I forget what the order was. Maybe it was the TNG cast first. So Michael Dorn was there. So I was like, oh my God, what are you going to get something done about Captain Worf? Because that's like, I will die on that hill. I don't think it's going to happen, but I will die on that hill. There should be a Captain Worf show. As unrealistic as they may not be. So he was like, yeah, I'm trying, blah, blah, blah. So I also had a Deep Space Nine cast shoot. So like 5 or 10 minutes later, I'm back in the line and I see him again. And my joke was like, hey, it's only been 5 minutes. I didn't say it was 5 minutes, but in my head, the joke was, I just saw you 5 minutes ago. So I was like, so have you done anything yet about that Captain Worf show? And he was like, no, I haven't. And I was like, oh crap, I don't think he got the joke. And I'm smiling for this photo. I was so it's like, I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut from now on.
Okay, that's your scary moment. Did you have a cool moment? Like my Armin quip?
Actually, this is gonna sound weird, but one of my coolest moments. Sorry, my cat is jumping down, and I'm accommodating her.
Bad spot.
My 20-year-old cat. So to let her jump down easily. In the DS9 photo, when I took it, Terry Farrell was looking at my ears because I have these purple cat ears that I wear to my conventions. And in the photo, she is tugging on one of my ears. And I'm like, oh my God, Terry Farrell touched my ears. It's like Umox. It's like, I will never throw these ears out. I have been Umoxed by Terry Farrell.
That's awesome.
Do I have that? I actually might. That might be within arm's reach. Like, find it.
So
Yeah, boy, having props within arm's reach is something.
I know it used to be because I've been rearranging stuff. No, that's the TNG one. I thought it was. Apparently, I have lost my mind. It is not where I thought it had been. Uh-oh. Okay. I must find it. That's not it. Nope. Okay, I've gone nuts. It's not where I thought it was. Those I would have shown you. Nope. I would have shown you my. Well, I can't. It's been so long. I think that was like 5 years ago. It's crazy to say that I've taken a cast photo because I had before the 50th anniversary. I think I had only been to maybe one Star Trek convention.
Wow.
Maybe one or two. I was about to say maybe two, but I think it was only one. and that was to see Michael Dorn and Marita Sirtis, I think right after, or sometime after Insurrection came out.
That's amazing.
Because I remember them apologizing for Insurrection.
No, Nemesis is the one that
Insurrection
needs
kinda sucked.
apologizing
It's
for.
like, Insurrection. I wouldn't have apologized for Insurrection. It wasn't bad.
Insurrection was weird, except for the Riker Troy goodies.
Mm.
So, I enjoyed Insurrection.
I've never taken a cast photo. Is it fun?
Yeah, it happens in a blink, and you're, at least for me, because again, this was the first experience I had with any of them, especially 10 of them at the same time. I was just like, oh. I was like, oh my God, what's going on? And then Gates McFadden was very nice, and she kind of gently grabbed my arm and was positioning me to take the photo, because I was just like, I was a hot mess. But it was very nice.
That's cool. Maybe someday.
They're expensive as heck. Well, I was a bit poorer back then, so I was like, ooh, 200, 300 for this, for sure.
Oh, goodness.
So yeah, my friends and I at the time, we split up the cost. So it wasn't that bad. It's probably in the future what I would do. Because I think even the Discovery cast photo might have been like 150, 200, and it wasn't even the full cast. So I was kind of like, I love Discovery, but not for the cast. I think they had 3, 4. I think they had 4 members. And it was Sonequa Martin Green, Mary Wiseman, Anthony Rapp, and Noah Averbach, the guy who plays the Andorian.
Yeah,
And
no,
I think the
I'm
last
about
season.
cats.
Yeah, that's his name. I was like, if you had Giorgio in there, that might have pushed me. If you had Giorgio and Culber, I might have pulled the trigger.
Yeah,
So I settled for my
joke around with
Sonequa Martin
Noah.
Green photo. Again, that was embarrassing.
I wish that Jason Isaacs would attend conventions for Lorca.
I think he did. He did
When did he do that?
a couple. Because I've seen, or at least I know he did photo ops. I've seen a couple of people with photo ops with him in their Discovery outfits.
Oh, I would
I
love
don't know if he was at the first, I don't remember if he was at the first New York Comic Con for Discovery. I feel like he was. And Michelle Yeoh showed up also.
But that was that party, was it back in 2019, was it?
The season 2 premiere?
Yeah.
Is that 29? That must have been, that was probably the beginning of 2019. That was like February, I think.
Yeah, because I remember I was at with the Growler, and they're at McHale's while some of these other guys were at the red carpet event.
Yeah, I was at the red carpet thing.
Oh, y'all and your ships. I should join a ship. My CO on the Starbase 5 is like, oh, you should join a ship and grow. And it's like, I gotta find a ship that would fit me.
Clarissa?
Well, I feel like the meetup groups are a good compromise because I don't think I'm technically, like, I haven't paid membership dues to anything, so I guess technically I'm not a member.
Oh, she used to be my ship, Heather, before I became the head of it.
Oh, what are you?
Yeah, I was.
Sorry, what?
He's the captain, and
What's
I
the
used to be the
captain
chief
of?
medical officer.
You're the Growler?
No, we're the Carissa and I. Well, I am the Osiris. The Growler is another ship that's in New York City. It's not affiliated with me. But the funny thing is, in my neck of the woods, the different Star Trek groups seem to get along with each other.
Really?
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 different ships, I think. Because there's the meetup group, there's the USS Osiris, there's like our Bronx, well, basically our other New York City chapter. There's the Growler. There's now the Gerard Holder.
And the Iwo Jima.
Oh yeah, that's at the Mirror Universe ship. I'm
No,
not
that's
sure.
Slavin, the military nut.
Gotcha. And then there's the Star Trek, I think just the generic meetup group, which is not
Well, New York
technically a
City
ship.
away
It's just
team.
yeah, whatever their official. Maybe that's their official name. The one that Darlena heads on Facebook.
No, that's Starbase Centaur and Gerard Holder.
Oh, see, this is why I'm not a part of any official ship because I don't know what's going on. There's too many names. But yeah, there's a bunch of different groups here, and they all pretty much meet at the same event, which is why I don't know exactly who's who and where's where, as you can see with all these different groups that we have.
Well, if you ever get confused, feel free to consult me.
Yeah, Anthony is definitely the chief muckety muck. He networks with all of these different groups and all the different captains.
I'm not surprised. He's a very social human being, and very positive and very wonderful.
Oh.
Yep, he's doing a good job representing the Osiris.
It's great. Very proud of him. Yeah. So.
Do you guys have Star Trek organizations where you're based that you're part of, or?
Yeah.
I'm in Starbase 05 with Command. I don't know what the future holds. I'm not sure. My CEO's been trying to get me to join a ship, but you know, that's a difficult process. I don't know where to go. But I write for I write Star Trek articles and I write fan fiction, and I just try to
Well,
so
go
that's
to your
where
local
possible.
convention. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Please finish the thought.
I try to socialize where possible, but you know, it sometimes gets too much. People kind of react by kind of not showing up where I am, and I just kind of react by staying away, and it's complicated. Anyway, Jake, I don't remember. Are you part of Starfleet Command?
No.
Why not?
Actually, I don't. So Starfleet Command, we don't. There isn't anything available here. Starfleet is here, but
Starfleet International?
yeah.
That's who I'm with.
So there's like 3 ships. So I'm in the spring, so there's no ships down here. At least not that I'm aware of. And I think maybe I found one, but they weren't they didn't seem like they were very active. I found a ship up in Denver that I was thinking about that seems fairly active. They go to conventions. They have monthly meetups. They do things together. So I was thinking about that one, but that's like up in Denver. That's like an hour away. So it's kind of a little bit of a pain, but
yeah. So wait, Jake, correct me if I'm wrong. You with Starfleet International?
I'm not with anybody right now.
Oh.
So I've never actually been an official member of any Star Trek fan clubs or anything like that. So this is actually probably the most, besides like friends I meet in like real life, it was like, oh, hey, you like Star Trek too? Okay, let's talk about Star Trek. But this is probably the most like I've ever been involved with like any sort of like Star Trek group or anything. So.
Yeah,
That's
but
pretty cool.
Jake has a tendency to fit in wherever he goes. It's amazing. I'm jealous. You know, and he is very intelligent. He is super intelligent and has the most amazing things to say.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm trying not to.
Jake, I know you hate it when I give you compliments, but you're gonna get them, buddy boy. So just get used to that.
Yeah.
That's
All
my
right, since we're all
nature.
Star Trek people, let's see. Oh my God, he has.
Your
Sludge the
co-captain's
cat.
also up and about.
I know pets are amazing. I should do a month devoted to pets, but there's not that many pets in Star Trek.
Well, we're gonna try to screen the trouble tribbles.
Yes, that's on the horizon. It's in the schedule. I've got a schedule written for 2022. The senior staff has arranged that.
There's tribbles in Discovery. Well, there is at least a tribble in Discovery.
Yeah, what is with that? I saw that.
So
Is
so
it
I've seen
fixed?
Well, I think I've seen two troubles in Discovery. One was, I think that's someone on Lorca's desk, and
Mm.
there was one season 4. I don't know. Maybe that episode isn't out yet. I don't know. So
It'll be out
I-
this week.
Yeah, because so I went. So I went to so last Wednesday I got in on one of the premiere parties.
Yep,
So
I was there.
Oh, lucky.
Okay, you were there.
Mm.
So I was trying not to. I don't know if that's like in season. If it was in episode 2 or 1, but there was a tribble wrong on the floor. So
Everybody's like, wait, are tribbles in Starfleet now?
Everything's in Starfleet. It's
Well,
IDIC.
hey, our old, I can't describe my ship in past tense and present tense and at the same time. But my parent organization has a thing called Pet Fleet for animal enthusiasts.
It's amazing.
The running
new?
joke on the Osiris being like, oh no, there's a roach and crawling on the table, you smash it, oops, I killed a Pet Fleet member.
I didn't even know we had a pet fleet.
You didn't remember that? You were there?
Mm.
That's amazing.
Oh, right, it must have been before you retired.
Yeah, that must have been a while ago.
So
Well,
did-
you're always welcome back.
Mhm.
You're like, I don't know if you want to come back. That's up to you.
Virtual is easiest because my schedule is random. And I work a lot of Saturdays and Sundays, but
with the talk of Pet Fleet, does anybody have any other comments about IDIC or the articles or anything like
Okay, so let me see something. I did this before, I'll do it again. Just this here, if you guys are good Star Trek fans. Look at this. Something's off about my uniform. What is
Yes.
it?
your communicator.
your
is
comm
off.
badge.
Very good, Jake. I have the wrong badge on this thing.
Mm. That is a next gen badge.
Yes.
Correct.
Well, I don't think it matters in here. Nobody's going to crucify you.
No.
And that
Not at all.
How I know this? Because I am the captain here and I won't allow it. Anybody crucifies each other, they get the little boot from the chat. I protect my people and you are all my people.
Okay.
And I love you. And I want
We
you all
are
to
here
love each
for it.
other.
Yeah, I have a friend, she's now into buying all these different costumes and she'll send me a picture and she's like, oh, but I have the wrong badge. Is that okay? And I'm like, you're a grown woman. It's your money. You do whatever you want.
Yeah, people, a lot of Star Trek fans don't have a lot of money and they go to inordinate lengths
Mm.
to try and participate in the fandom. And we need to stop being judgy to each other and actually enjoy people's ability to participate however they can afford to.
I agree. Sometimes it's funny and I just sit back and laugh. I inadvertently started a billion comment argument. My friend, we went to New York Comic Con and we bought these Star Trek uniforms. I was in the Picard uniform engineering department, which I'm not an engineer in any way, shape, or form, but Raffi is like my favorite character in Picard. So I was like, I'll wear this as a
well,
tribute.
that and you said you didn't
to that
feel the
character.
blue would show up on film better.
Yeah. So eventually I will get the blue because I'm pretty much medical department. That's the only department I would ever be in. So my friend photoshopped me into a scene where it would be Picard standing with Raffi, but instead it's me standing with Picard. And I had on the proper badge, but it's counterintuitive because it's new uniforms. They're actually using the Voyager badge
Yes.
on those Picard uniforms. So somebody commented, was like, oh, your outfit looks really good, but you're actually using the wrong badge. He gave me a link to go where I could order the correct badge, or so he thought. So I was like, I know it's
Lord.
weird, but this actually is the correct badge. So I actually posted the reference photo of the original screenshot. And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I was like, it's fine. I don't really care. I know it doesn't really seem like a natural thing. And then people now started going back and forth because the owner of the page came in and was like, don't advertise other people's sites on my page. And everybody's now like, he was just trying to help another fan complete their uniform. You can't. I was like,
Do you know what happens when Star Trek fans? Do you know what happens when Star Trek fans scratch and pick at each other enough? They throw up blood and cause pain and create hurt. So that
yeah, that's the one.
stop.
So I think that's my like favorite Star Trek uniform right now. I think.
What, this one?
Mhm.
Is that Picard?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that's that's the Picard flashback uniform, not the
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate the one that's the current Picard. It's like the Voyager uniform, but worse.
That one with the solid color at the top instead of the
Yeah.
two lines. I guess it'd be the current Picard timeline, not the flashback
color,
one, like
it's not
Jake
your
said.
shoulders of the department color.
Mhm.
It's like down below your bust now.
Mm.
Let me hang this thing back up.
Though the red one, like that one he has, I find really striking. My favorites, actually, I'm liking the dress uniforms on Discovery this season. I still don't understand why Starfleet has 50 different uniforms for every person in Starfleet, but I'll let that slide.
I don't know. I could only
But
be
their blue dress uniforms looked really nice. And then their updated dress uniform that's based on the maroon, the monster maroon, that looks really nice.
Well, so if you've ever been in the, people who've been in the military know we have, I think there's one point, I think I had like 4 different uniforms for 4 different things. So, I mean, because people talk about Starfleet switching out their uniforms. I was like, no, our military switches out their uniforms like every 5 years. So what they do on Star Trek doesn't really bother me.
Well, diversity's cool.
My only gripe is, do you expect me to buy all of these uniforms? Because I want all of them. You show me a new uniform, I want a new uniform. So please don't have 10 more uniforms show up.
This is a TOS uniform, and this is what I've got, and this is what I choose to lead this group with. I can't afford else. This is something I bought a few years ago for Halloween. This actually, yeah, I squeezed into this back in like 2014. And I got fat, so this didn't fit for a while. I've slimmed down again. I've got a blue one too. This is what I've got. This is what I can afford.
Awesome.
Well, I've had this one since 2004.
If y'all want to start, if fans want to whine about my uniforms, give me money so I can buy more or buy more. Buy me more.
That's the attitude to have, right?
There you go. Well, we should all chip in like for I'm trying to think. Does Heather have an Amazon wish list or something?
Yes. Yes, I do, but I didn't know you could buy Star Trek uniforms on Amazon.
You can. They're really expensive. I would not recommend it.
But
honestly.
my body is very odd. I've got a large chest, and the rest of my body has been losing weight because of my medical condition and medications and walking therapy associated with it. So it's very unusual body. I need to try it on.
There's sellers on eBay. You just have to, I guess, look for reviews that will do custom, but they're all in China. They'll do custom uniforms for you.
Well, you're going to have to give me information on that if you're willing.
Yeah, no problem. I'll give you the link to the group that I am in.
Yeah,
Let me
PM it to
actually
me
look that up
later.
now.
You don't have to do it now, but just PM it to me.
Yes, we do this because we care.
I know, but you're also tired, so I don't want to make you do something right now if you're tired.
I'm always tired. It doesn't matter.
What is it like? It's like 11
I don't have
o'clock.
I have no coffee, Clarissa.
It's too late for coffee. I wake up, as soon as I awake, I am officially tired. So there's no.
But I invite you to message me in Facebook and send me that information when you have energy and time.
Sure, I will. I love sharing uniform information with people because this guy is a really good. I've bought 2 uniforms from him now, and they're really comfortable. One of them is so comfortable. I'm like, I wish the material was a little bit sturdier. I would wear it probably every day as a jacket.
Because we can't get uniforms locally anymore. I'm not getting a headache. I need my glasses.
So if I were to get a uniform, it would probably be one of the Picard flashback ones. I just love it so much. But I'm torn between like blue for science or yellow for the engineering, just because that's what. So real life, I'm closer to engineering, but I also love science too. So kind of torn.
Well, you get whatever your heart desires and forget about
There you
looking
go.
cool.
Or you could say, well, I like the engineering uniform of the flashback Picard, but maybe you like the science uniform of a different show. So then you could buy the engineering one under Picard and then the science one under a different show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's an idea.
Yes. And while we're discussing,
Tell I've been plotting.
right, let me see something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What?
Oh, so I was making a mental count of how many uniforms I have.
Oh, goodness. You know,
I don't
as
say
much as
anything. I
I'd
don't
like
want to
to-
sound like I'm bragging.
No, you're not bragging, but as much as I would love to buy 7 uniforms for myself, I have to feed and clothe myself. And
I ain't get that all at once,
I'm
Heather.
volunteering at a Christmas trade show in a couple of weeks. So maybe I'll buy some Trekkie things there if they're selling them. I'll buy it on a break.
Oh, okay.
Well, hey, it's Black Friday. Maybe, I don't know if this guy does Black Friday sales. I know he had like a 20% off something for Labor Day, which is when I got my Discovery Season 2 science jacket.
But we don't have a
Again,
lot
I
of
had to
Trek
improvise.
merchandise in my city, unfortunately. I live in a small city.
I
Maybe
mean,
New York.
honestly, I don't know if I would say New York has a lot of Trek merchandise.
You have
To be
to hunt
honest.
for it.
Yeah, I think the internet is really where all the Trek merchandise is, or a convention. I don't think there's really anywhere, especially with COVID decimating all these stores. There's nowhere I don't think there's a lot of places where you could just go and get Star Trek stuff.
I would say, Clarissa, you might want to check out Ruby's.
Too expensive for their quality.
You know, if you have knowledge of Trek merchandise, you should start a thread, or I will start a thread, and you can share your ideas with the club. So us core fans can legit benefit from your wisdom.
Yeah, because like Clarissa will tell you, when she was on the Osiris with me, the only person who ever wore uniforms
was Anthony. The Osiris was definitely not a uniform ship. I think
we couldn't care less, really.
XO occasionally would wear a uniform.
Bum in mine.
I was about to say, if he did, he would borrow it from Anthony.
Like, I don't, like, if I ever wore a uniform to a convention, I don't know if I could actually cosplay as anybody because I don't look like anybody. My hair's too dark. My skin's too weird. I don't look like a character.
Hey, I remember 5 years ago, somebody was looking at me asking which Star Trek character am I? Because he's gonna go look at his DVDs, try to look for me.
Yeah, I don't think that I know of. I don't think anybody really looks like anyone from any show unless they put on makeup to look like a specific alien. I think people just go and they're like, I'm in Starfleet. Yeah. I mean, that's always my attitude when I put on my uniform. Just like, I'm in Starfleet, I'm hanging out.
Yeah, we got Captain Cameron here.
Yes. If I hid my ponytail and did my hair a specific way and pulled out my blue, if I pulled out a TOS tunic, maybe I could cosplay as a femme Bashir. Maybe if I did my hair a specific way, I could.
But you're already cosplaying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I will admit, well, being of a certain age, from a certain era, where cosplay was not, I think people now at conventions, cosplay has always been a thing. And cosplay, for me, Star Trek existed before cosplay was a thing. So when I went to the 50th anniversary and I had on a uniform, like everybody who's cosplaying, you can come up to the stage. And people were like, oh, you should get up. And I was like, but I'm not cosplaying. I'm just wearing a Starfleet uniform. So I think it's a culture clash, where I can get a certain age, it's a culture clash, but I guess technically you are kind of cosplaying. You're wearing a costume. That would be cosplay.
That's true.
So just wearing it, you're cosplaying. You are the character.
But just it would be interesting if I could pull off a femme Bashir look with some alterations to my hair, just for kicks.
Did she say femme Bashir?
Yeah, if I did my hair like he had it in Trials and Tribulations and got the blue tunic and everything. If I could do the bangs the way he had it. I think I could pull it off.
And you need the tricorder. Do you have a tricorder, right? I think.
I
in
do.
that episode.
Oh, he does. I don't have the TOS tricorder.
Yeah. I could get one, I'm sure. They're selling them somewhere. Some
The
antique
magical
store or
world of
something.
eBay.
Yeah. Or pawn shops.
You never know.
Yes.
Does anybody have any other comments? Because I think people are getting tired, so.
It is 22:45 Eastern
Ugh.
time, so.
Yeah.
And Clarissa and I got things to do tomorrow.
All right.
I gotta accommodate last minute people tomorrow.
Yes. So does anybody have any closing comments before we call it a night? How about IDIC includes me?
Live long and prosper.
Did everybody enjoy the evening?
I did, very much so.
Good. I hope you all come back to future meetings.
Last question. So how did you feel about taking my request
Which one?
of moving these screening meetups to Friday nights instead of Tuesday?
That's an interesting question. You should come to the next screening on Friday. Because that's when our next episode is. On Friday, we're watching Lineage from Star Trek Voyager and discussing the topic of Be Not Ashamed of Yourself.
That's on the 30th, right?
Yeah, you should check the schedule, Anthony.
I do, I can read.
Does that answer your question? I've taken it very well. We've moved back to Fridays. Because you've been heard.
So yeah, Fridays work for me. My only comment was that I think there was one of them that was kind of earlier in the day, so that might be a little bit harder for me to make it for that.
Yeah, the Valentine's Day one.
Yeah, it's a little early
Yeah, I
in the
can
day.
probably switch the time on that. That's not a problem. I'll probably switch the time on that before then, but back to 6.
So not that I'm complaining. Well, kind of.
It's fine. If you have if anybody ever has any feedback or concerns or anything, y'all are welcome to come to me whenever. I'm an open book and I'm willing to discuss concerns, questions, whatever. Don't be afraid. All
Thank
right.
you.
No, this was fun. I'm glad. Thank you, everybody who showed up. And
Yes, I'm glad
Conversed.
you came to the birthday party. I'm very glad.
Well, we need cake for
Woo.
the next one.
I'm sorry, I
Yay.
don't have any. I've got a little bit of a chocolate mousse in my fridge that I got from a Boston Pizza. That's mine. And I'm also gonna go make a milkshake out of some lactose-free cookies and cream and some other things in a blender.
That sounds really good.
I'm sorry, there's only enough for one.
That's okay. I have my own special mixture for Thursday.
And y'all can have dairy, so y'all go off on your dairies. Have your dairies. Anyway, thank you so much for
All
coming.
right.
Happy birthday.
Thank
Yes,
you.
happy
Happy
birthday
birthday.
again. Hope it's the start of a great year for you.
I
You
hope
do
it is
something extra
too.
fun for your birthday.
Well, considering it's COVID, not much, but I'd love to go on a trip for my 35th, maybe to your neck of the woods. I never know how much money I'll have by next year.
Or we could all meet in
Yeah.
Canada.
Oh, well,
Hmm.
I'm a dual citizen. I can go anywhere in Canada and the US that I want.
I think the US, we might be plague rats, so it might be safer for you to
Oh, well,
come
my
here.
mother
Yeah.
You
was
might not
born
be
in the
allowed
States.
over the border.
My mother was born in the States, actually, so I have a
Mm.
special love for the States.
Yeah, we'll see how we're
Well, the
dealing with COVID
gauntlet
next
has
year.
been thrown.
All right, well, I'm glad you all
Excellent.
came. I
All right, good
appreciate
night,
it.
everyone.
Live long and prosper, IDIC, peace and long life. I love you all.
Peace and long life.
Bye.
Good night. Thank you so much for coming to my party and discussing IDIC includes me, and also watching Dr. Bashir, I presume. We did not get to our man Bashir tonight, but that's okay. We'll save it for another day. Live long and prosper. I love you all.